Since 2001, RNLI Chiswick Lifeboat Station has been operational, covering the patch of river between Richmond and Battersea on the Thames. The Chiswick team consists of around 9 full-timers and a panel of 50 volunteers that contribute 2 12-hour shifts every month to keep the public safe from the river. The station is manned 24/7, enabling quick response times of under 15 minutes along their patch. This particular stretch of river is well known for the Ox Bridge boat race, as well as its large rowing community. The team train constantly to ensure they are prepared for any eventuality on the river and deal with around 200 incidents each year. Helping them in Chiswick are 2 E-class lifeboats capable of 40 knots with a capacity for 20 survivors. For this documentary, we interviewed several members of the RNLI Chiswick as they were on duty to find out more about the important work they do. Let's meet the crew.
Hello, my name's Mark Finnis, otherwise known as Foggy.
My name's Sam, I'm a volunteer crew member with Chiswick Lifeboat and I'm a paramedic for the London Ambulance Service.
I'm Steve Law. I work full time for the RNLI, but I also volunteer here at Chiswick Lifeboat for the last year and a half as crew.
My name's Ian Owen, I'm a staff member here at Chiswick Lifeboat Station and I've been involved in the RNLI for 23 years.
I'm Ella, I'm 32, I've been a volunteer with the RNLI since I was 17, so 15 years. I'm a crew here and I was a B-class helm on the coast.
My name's Peter Knight. I was a full-time employee here. I've just left after 12 years full-time. This is my first shift back as a volunteer again. I was a coastal volunteer. I've been with the lifeboats almost 30 years.
I'm Mark Turrell. I'm a full-time lifeboat helmsman here at Chiswick Lifeboat Station.
So when I was a little boy, I used to watch the programme Blue Peter, and they did their appeals for lifeboats, and I sent my paperback books away and clubbed together, and it got the monies for Blue Peter 1, which is at Littlehampton, which is my hometown. And then many years later I was on the crew and senior helm there as well, so boys and toys.
I see it as kind of an extension of my day job. I thought I could bring useful skills with me and also learn some new skills with the boat work. We're working with like-minded people, sort of similar attitudes and that to ambulance people.
Originally, I just wanted help. I met the crew after they'd finished an exercise and I just offered my professional services to them, you know, if I could help them out.
I always thought that you had to be living 10 minutes within a station or be some sort of hardy fisherman or something like that. And I just bumped into one of the crew here, got chatting about it, said it's something that I'd always love to do. And then because of the nature of Chiswick, by doing 2 12-hour shifts a month, that is really easy to do. Fits really nicely with my work. And so yeah, just decided it was, you know, I needed to do it.
I've always been fascinated by boats, I've always been a sailor ever since I was tiny. And I thought that I would like to do some community service, and I thought the two would combine very well.
It just came to me one night while I was fishing. So back at home, incidentally, is Dover. I was out fishing one night and I was just after something to do, a hobby, and all my interests were to do with the sea at the time, fishing, sailing, windsurfing. Someone prompted me where I used to work to join, and I thought, yeah, why not, let's give it a go.
My father drowned when I was 8 years old off a fishing boat in Lowestoft. I still live in East Anglia, even though I travel down here and do this 4 days or 4 nights a week. There was a big search and they didn't find him, and he was found 2 weeks later. So obviously deceased by then. And I said at 8 years old, I never knew about the RNLI and what they do or understand anything about it, and not until I got a bit older, and then I started taking a bit of an interest in the lifeboat institution and what they did, or what they tried to do to find my dad back then. So then as I got a bit older and it became a bit of a reality that I might be able to make a difference and, you know, stop some other children going through what I did.
When the bell goes, your heart does like leap out of your chest and start going like mad.
I think you can put a lot of pressure on yourself. It's never a good time. When it starts getting exciting, it's usually going wrong, and it can go badly wrong very quickly. So you need to try and keep everything slowed down, nice and steady, and keep yourself calm, so you then keep everyone else calm.
All gone.
We're out on that boat down the river, chat to people, we wave at people on the riverbank as we go down, and today might just be the day we also save someone's life.
Flying down the river at 40 knots, you know, on your way to do some good is a pretty sort of personally rewarding and exciting feeling.
When you get to make a difference, you know, help someone out. It can be just a slightly smile or reflection of relief on their face, and just for an absolute moment, you know, you've done something that's made a difference. And to me, that's a very precious and fulfilling.
Once we get him away, I'll lift it up.
Yeah, please just get a bone spring on.
Yeah, do you want me to tighten it a bit? Go across.
Yes, you do still get the jobs which require a bit of heroism, but there is the run-of-the-mill jobs out there. Only too often we go out there for some stuff, and I don't like to say it, which, you know, you can have a laugh about. But the serious jobs do come up every now and then, I have to say that.
New skills, so, well,
Anything associated with the boat, we do the engine checks, we drive it, we do the rope work, we do towing, anchoring.
Driving a high-speed vessel, being able to go into a helicopter, be lifted up.
First aid skills have come on leaps and bounds.
People skills really come into play.
how to work in a team and how to handle yourself under pressure.
Everything's changing when the bell goes, you know, because you don't know what you're going to go to until you pick that phone up and get the call.
So over the last year and a half, I've not, touch wood, not had any major jobs, so I don't necessarily feel like I've had that sort of ultimate test yet.
I've had some tricky jobs, and pulling people who haven't survived out of the water is always, I think, the most challenging. Even though you do your best, or if you do a search and you can't find them, that's the most challenging.
Not so much my colleagues on the boat, but more we have different sorts of people we deal with that are in trouble, and you know, there are different situations, and some of them are quite challenging.
I think the skills that I've achieved since I've been here have been more around the understanding of probably mental health and issues around, you know, people's sort of problems and the reasons that a lot of the people are in the situations there out in the river there that we go to because of what they've got going on in their life. And it's one thing going out on a boat and rescuing someone. I'm not talking about a broken down boat, I'm talking about people, you know, in life-threatening situations on bridges who are suffering from depression or whatnot. But it's another thing to understand why they're there. So I think this job has enhanced that set of skills that I just needed to home in, and it's made me a better person. Definitely made me a better person for doing this job, without a doubt.
Mental health is becoming an increasing problem for lifeboat stations on the Thames as more and more shouts are related to those suffering from it. RNLI staff receive minimal training in dealing with these cases, but the impact they have on these individuals is so important. More is being done to tackle these problems, but with a lack of funding and resources, this is a major challenge facing the RNLI going forward. The lifeboat crew may be needed to deal with a whole range of scenarios that, ideally, they wouldn't need to be called to in the first place. To increase awareness of the dangers of the river, the RNLI is constantly doing more to engage with the public and the local community.
My name's James and I'm with the RNLI tonight. And we're doing a life jacket safety clinic on board Ben's yacht here, and this is all for local marina users. We've asked them to come along, bring their life jackets, have a drink, and the whole idea is to educate them on life jacket safety and show them what's right or wrong with their life jackets. So it's not my full-time job. I'm a non-executive chairman for an insurance company, but I'm a rower, live in Putney and joined Chiswick RNLI about a year ago.
Whether you're an ALB crew or an ILB crew on the coast, or whether you're here as a Thames crew or a lifeguard, you know, it doesn't matter. You're all part of that one big family.
Not just the local community of Chiswick, but the community of being on the river. You know, we try and fill it and get involved as much as possible.
And when working up here on the Thames, there's such a real diversity of people. That's actually the best bit of the job, really, and we all pick up so much from each other.
But yeah, there's 80 people here, and 80 people of all different walks of life, different ages, different backgrounds, different jobs, different interests. A group of people that normally together would never hang out, but the lifeboat is a huge part of all of our lives, and it's a massive one thing that we share and have in common.
There's a lot more to it than possibly tearing around in a fast boat. You will have to go past certain training requirements. You will come across some scenes which are not going to be nice. But we will give you all the support in getting you through your training.
You'll only ever be asked to do something that you're capable of doing, and you can always turn around and say, I don't know how to do that, or could you help me out with this, or can I just check if this is right? It's certainly the sort of thing that anybody at any skill level could come into.
Come along, give it a go. If you don't like it, you don't have to carry on, but you might just find you love it. You know, I joined thinking, well, I'll give it a go, see how I get on, and 6 years later I'm still here.
Get to be here and to enjoy the river, but I think that everyone should be encouraged to give back to their community. in whatever way they can.
When you do make a difference to someone out there, it's a little addictive.
There's no better reward than actually saving someone's life. It's a fantastic organisation to be in. We're a close team, and the team changes every day. So, you know, if you want to be part of that team and you want to make a difference, if you want to give something back, you don't keep taking all the time. The institution is the place to do it.